You may have heard the story of Helen, a woman whose beauty launched 1,000 ships and started the most famous war in history. You may have heard of that valiant struggle that took place beneath the golden walls of Troy. 10 years, the best of our lives, 10,000 men, the best the gods and dreams of glory could have fashioned. All led by my brother, Agamemnon, the mightiest of the Greeks. And Achilles, who could strike down 10 warriors with one blow. You may even have heard of Paris, who they say betrayed his country and crown for love. But that is not the way it happened. Let me tell you the real story. I know. I was there.
It's a boy, Your Highness. A boy.
You said kill him. Kill him! Before any of us knew that it was a boy. Cassandra, have you just had one of your visions, Tell me!
Ryan, come see your son. Cassandra, come see your brother Alexandros.
Look, Cassandra, I know that you see things, and I know that people don't believe you, but I do. You saw that it was a baby boy, right? Now, what else did you see? What else?
If he lives, Troy will burn.
Take my son to the mountain.
No!
Throw him from the highest peak.
No!
Do it now!
No! 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 Please! No! Please! My son!
Gods, do your will.
Why would they? What was it, child? Some foul prophet jealous of your beauty? Never mind. With me you shall be loved and honored, and I shall name you Paris.
Paris, where are you? Paris, come, time to eat. Oh!
I've got goats that fight better than you.
Hey, too bad you can't watch your goats as well as you fight.
Look! What? Watch my herd! Stoop close!
Was? Was?
Who's there?
Beauty is all. All is beauty.
Victory goes to the strong.
Gold rules men. Wealth is power. Paris must choose. You must judge who of us is fairest.
Who are you?
Choose me, Paris. I am Hera. I can give you wealth beyond your dreams.
Athena brings victory and glory forever.
Look into its face, Paris. See what Aphrodite gives. The most beautiful woman in the world. Helen.
Go outside the city walls. Father is furious. Come on, let's get you bathed and dressed. Come on, you can't go to a wedding looking like that.
That big one in the front. Is that Agamemnon, the one who's to marry our sister?
No, that's his father, King Atreus. See that one there, with the beard? That's Agamemnon. They say that one day he will rule the entire Aegean. Now come on, let's go.
Who's the other one? The young one?
That's his brother, Menelaus. Young about 2 years. I'm not too fond of living in his brother's shadow, so I hear. Come on, let's get you dressed.
But where are they from?
Mycenae.
Where's that?
Never you mind.
My king, This is bad timing, don't you think?
Greater the challenge.
Don't get me wrong, I love a challenge, but I just hate to be missing Athens in the springtime. You know how beautiful it is.
If you want beauty, you'll find it right here beyond those walls. The most beautiful girl in the world is here, Sparta.
She's just a child.
Ripen her like grapes. I'll age her like wine. When she ages just enough, I'll taste her.
Yeah, well, fine. But not when the greatest warriors in my scene are just behind those walls.
Don't be such a bore. Let's have some fun.
Fun? No, this is not fun. No, fishing is fun. Playing the lute is fun. Swimming in shark-infested waters is fun. Committing suicide is not fun.
I, King Atreus, Prince Agamemnon, Prince Menelaus, we welcome you to Sparta.
Great Tyndareus, made greater by his kindness.
Made greater only by his most dutiful and obedient daughter. May I present the lovely Clytemnestra?
Clytemnestra, I hereby claim you as my wife.
And who is this?
My youngest, still a child. An untamed and disrespectful child, I might add.
Her name, my lord?
She is Helen.
Helen.
Father, I will take her to her room.
Yes, indeed you shall. As punishment for her disrespect, she will miss the wedding feast.
Father-in-law, I see my bride is distressed. You're quite right. Clytemnestra's little sister is but a child who meant no harm. Why not invite her to join us?
Well, that sounds fair. I would be honored to be Helen's escort, should the king's legendary kindness permit.
Pollux, see that she's properly dressed.
Yes, Father.
You like it?
So much trouble.
What's all the big fuss about?
Don't you understand anything about anything? You're not a little girl. You're almost a woman. What are you doing?
I don't know such thing.
You are. Listen to me. Get off for a second. Listen.
No, I won't.
Helen! Helen, I love you more than life. I know it's hard to accept, but someday, soon, you will marry.
I already know who to.
You do?
I saw him
Where?
in the water.
You'll marry a fish.
It's a shepherd.
Oh, that's likely. Helen!
I will, Pollux. I had a vision. I saw his face, and
And what?
he saw mine. On Monday, he'll find me. I know it. I know it.
Good. Good. But meanwhile, you must be ready for kings and princes to seek your hand.
Why?
Your beauty, your spirit, it makes men weak. Helen, you have no idea what madness lies in men. All men, every one.
Even you.
Can you hold this, please? Thank you.
Why are you doing that?
Doing what?
Casting lots. I know what for, too. No, you've no right. I'm not some sort of a prize.
Well done, my friend. So you get the girl, and I get the horse. Well, I'll just have to find myself another stunningly beautiful princess. Persephone, perhaps.
Well, she's sweet on pomegranates, I heard.
I hate pomegranates. Farewell, my friend.
May the gods be kind.
Who are you?
Theseus, king of Athens.
You don't look like a king.
You better get used to me. I'm going to marry you.
I think you've got me confused with my sister. I'm not the daughter of Tundarius who does what anybody says.
Well, you're not the daughter of Tyndareus at all.
Of course I am. You think my mother found me under a cabbage leaf?
Some say that. I don't. You're Queen Aida's daughter, all right. There's no mistake in that faith.
I'm my father's daughter, too.
You'd have to be. That's the way it works.
Tundarius is my father.
They never told you anything at all, did they?
Told me what?
What do you think happened to your mother?
She died?
Why?
Because of me. I made her sick.
How? You know?
Tyndareus told you you'd kill your mother.
You didn't have to say it. He can't look at me.
Your mother took her own life, Helen. She leapt from the west wall of the palace.
No. You lie. Why would she?
She was raped.
Because she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that what you intend with me?
What?
Rape?
I don't rape children. Or are you a woman?
No.
Well, when you are, we'll be good friends. We'll be fine.
You can't take away our best stock.
You should be honored.
Honored that you steal away our livelihood.
You'll be compensated. Fairly compensated.
Compensation doesn't fill our cows with seed. Compensation doesn't give us meat. They're taking your bull!
That's the property of the king of Troy.
No, he's mine. I raised it. Hold it. Leave him. Leave him. Leave my son alone.
Any other objections?
He will be the grand prize in King Priam's games. If you wish to negotiate with the winner, you'll find him there.
Tell me the truth about my mother. I need to know, please.
When it happened, Tyndaris was away in Egypt. And when she began to show a couple of months later, they'd been gone for half a year. So the kingdom watched her belly swell, month after month. She was disgraced. She had no husband beside her. She waited till she had you, and then...
Had me. It was me.
Helen, no. They're wolves!
Do I look like her?
Well, you're younger. And dirtier. But when you grow up, if you grow up, you don't make me wring your neck. It'll be even more breathtaking.
Who was it? Who did it? Tell me who.
Helen, you're the daughter of the greatest god. Zeus is your father. That's why your beauty will never be matched. That's why no man will ever resist it.
You resisted me.
Well, not without great effort. Let me be your friend. I think you could do with one.
I must always know the truth.
Always.
I'm going to Troy. I'll get our ball back.
Troy is no place for people like us.
I'm going.
No, they'll hurt you. If these ribs aren't broken, they will be with one more blow.
They can't treat us like that. Like we're nothing. I'll bring back what's ours.
There's no point.
There is. When I win it.
And so Paris came to Troy. It was the richest city in the world. Into it poured silks from Asia, spices from Arabia, rare woods from Africa. From its strategic harbor, with its massive walls, Troy controlled all trade north and south of the Aegean. And Paris would control Troy's fate more than he could know.
You here to sign up? What's your name?
Paris.
Of? As in where from?
Mount Ida.
All right, where's your cuirass?
Wait, what?
Breastplate. No? What about a helmet? Any kind of armor? Boy! Fetch me some of that old armor. How about your cudgel?
I could use this.
Look here, lad. You can't win. But at least you have to put on a good show. Go ahead, choose one. You'll find some better than others.
Why can't I win?
No one ever beats Prince Hector. Leave your knife on the rack.
Hey, Shepherd Boy. The hero from Mount Ida.
Ah, the king's thief.
You're on, Shepherd. With your friend. Go, 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 go.
Paris of Mount Ida meets Presbyterian, commander of the guard.
Need better armor. This old Hittite stuff is junk. Is it bad?
It's nothing. Old wound.
Shouldn't be fighting.
I have to.
Oh, really? Why's that?
I don't like thieves sent by kings to steal my livestock for their games and amusement.
The bull?
My bull.
Ah. My father's games must be fair. I can't fight a wounded man.
The rules are clear, my lord. You must.
Paris, son.
Paris of Mount Ida will fight Damien of
You're
Argos.
hurt.
I'll be fine.
Your ribs, you can't.
Father, I'll be fine.
The winner is Paris of Mount Ida.
Paris, you must stop this. I've seen these crush a man's head. Paris, Paris, you must never mind what happened. You survived without our bond. Paris, you're my only child, I beg you. Come on.
You raised me to be strong, to be loyal, to defend what I believe in.
Paris of Mount Ida will fight Hideous of Serbia.
I love you, Father.
I can't watch my own son get killed.
He's not your son. Be gone, old shepherd.
Wait! He's my father.
No, Paris, don't. It's Princess Cassandra.
Alexandros?
My name is Paris.
You should be dead.
Give me a minute.
The final match. Prince Hector of Troy against Paris of Mount Ida.
You must kill him.
These are just games, Cassandra.
You don't understand.
Look, he is good, but he's only a shepherd.
He's baby Alexandros. If you love your family, honor Troy, you must destroy him.
Met 5.
You don't intend to fight me?
I'll fight you the way I live, not Troy's way.
Do you know how to use a dagger, shepherd?
Can't stop wolves with sticks.
What is he doing?
Then use it.
Come on!
Alexandros.
Do you surrender? I'm prepared to die. I don't want your life.
Does Prince Hector surrender?
Does Troy surrender?
The winner, Paris of Mount Ida.
Approach! Paris of Mount Ida.
Don't look at him, Mother. Alexandros.
Are you Alexandros?
My name is Paris. Father, what are you doing? Get up. We have our ball. We can go home.
You are home. Noble King Priam, if someone must be punished, let it be me.
My son?
There is no doubt, my queen. I found him on the mountain.
Darling, darling child.
Shepherd, you've done well. You have brought home our son. Welcome home, Prince Paris of Troy!
Prophecy has been fulfilled.
What prophecy?
Because you live, we all must die.
How was the ride? Mount Hymetta's honey. Best in the world.
How do you know it's the best?
Well, I suppose I don't.
Well, then there's always a chance you might find something better.
No.
I want to love.
will someday.
I'm ready now.
You're young.
I'm a woman.
Someday, someplace, we'll find someone better. Someone worthier. And when you do, neither the God's will nor the Earth's turning will keep you from it.
That's how I feel about you.
Well, Helen, this has just been a kind of practice. Someday you'll know the difference.
You always said that we'd marry.
Helen. Hey.
Quiet. Why are you here?
We finally found you. You're safe now.
Price. I gladly pay it.
With the death of Pollux, Tyndareus had no heir. The great kings of the Aegean were drawn to Sparta like moths to the flame.
Odysseus, king of Ithaca, remembers the fallen Pollux and offers his heart to the great King Tyndareus.
Achilles brings greetings from the Myrmidons, who stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Sparta to defend the honor of Sparta and to revenge the blood of the great King Tyndareus.
To die for a woman. It's hard to imagine such a weakness.
You cannot comment. You have not seen her.
I don't need to.
You afraid to try?
I'm afraid of nothing.
There.
You shed no tears. By your actions, you have left me without love or hope, and Sparta without its future king. And you show no grief. It should have been you who died. Is there any among you who will take this cursed woman? Is there any among you who wishes their home devastated, his country brought to ruin, his heart broken, beyond repair. I leave her to you. Leave her!
Tyndareus is right. She'll bring her husband more trouble than he could ever imagine. The path to her bed is strewn with ash and death.
And yet is there not one man round this table who does not want her?
Do you suggest that every king here draw his sword against the other?
No, of course not. That would be...
What he wants is to find a way to have her all to himself. Isn't that right, little brother? In truth, if we raise our swords at all, it should be together and pointed in the same direction.
Toward riches in Byzantium.
Or Persians?
If we unite, we can conquer anything at all. Any creature, any nation.
Well spoken, Agamemnon, but you control no army.
Perhaps I should tell you, brothers, that as we speak, our father, the clear-eyed Atreus, lies alone, speaking only with the gods. In a matter of days, they will take him, and I will return to the citadel at Mycenae.
Then let us greet you now as our new High King, mighty Agamemnon of Mycenae. Agamemnon!
Agamemnon!
Now, can we agree to unite in time of war? What do you say, Odysseus?
I have a family. I'd rather plow a field and sow it with salt than go to war.
And you, Achilles?
Some of us may prefer a long and quiet life at home. I, for one, would live it short. If I knew I could die with a taste of glory on my lips.
You will have it short if one of us takes Helen. And yet, perhaps this is the way that we can unite as Agamemnon wishes.
Good Odysseus, the wisest of us all.
And tell us, O wise one, what do you propose?
Two things. First, we swear an oath.
What sort of oath?
Whoever takes Helen can trust that we will defend that man's sole right to her with our lives. The rest must be content to admire her from afar.
And second?
We cast lots. The winner takes the bride.
Never!
Who? What gives you the right to agree on such a thing?
The right of one man to one vote.
Who in the world has ever heard of that? There is no such thing.
Then we begin here.
Who swears the oath?
Agamemnon, as we two are the only ones who are married, how do you suggest we cast a lots?
Given this noble assemblage, I would say our seals.
Closest to the jar may claim his bride. Menelaus.
What say you, my brother?
I say the gods have spoken. And each man here would be wise to keep his oath, or face the everlasting wrath of Mount Olympus.
Your daughter is so lovely.
She reminds me of you.
So long ago.
Iphigenia, come, say goodnight to your aunt. Have you been bouncing? Ooh. Mwah. Give your aunt a kiss. Off to bed. Quickly.
Making a child so sweet might be reason enough to live.
You have many reasons, Helen. Tomorrow you will marry my husband's brother. We'll be sisters and sisters-in-law both. Yes. They are hard men. But it is possible to love them.
Paris? Father asked to see you. He's sending you to Sparta.
Why?
Because he wants you to take a message to the new king Menelaus, younger brother of High King Agamemnon of Mycenae.
High King? Some sort of supreme ruler, is he?
That's right. And now he's talking war against Troy.
Why?
Because we control access to the silks and spices of Byzantium. What?
Can't believe people go to war over nutmeg.
Well, they do, Paris, and you'd better get used to it.
Where is he now, this High King of theirs?
Don't know.
Agamemnon's in Sparta for the funeral of Tyndareus and the crowning of Menelaus. And when I get there, it will appear that I've been sent to drive a wedge between the brothers. They will then kill me and put my head on a spike. Then Troy will be rid of me, Cassandra be redeemed, and you can get back to being the sole heir to the throne. Am I close? You're being a fool. Look me in the eye and say that. Look me in the eye. Brother, the gods have divined it. So be it.
Such strong winds, my lord. The gods must have hurried us here.
Yes, it would seem.
They must favor your mission.
I wouldn't count on it.
Helen, I'm the obedient wife, but even I will tell you, he's taken this oath too far. When you were a child and father punished you, you would always come back fighting. Why aren't you fighting now?
I've caused such grief and destruction.
Helen, you did not ask to be kidnapped. Nor rescued, for that matter. It's not your fault.
You don't know.
Why do you have to do this?
Menelaus commands it.
I don't do it for Agamemnon.
10,000 men have sworn their lives to defend the right of Menelaus to have me. Agamemnon believes the king should see proof of my worth.
How can you let them treat you like this?
They can look all they want, but they'll never see me.
Wait! We come in peace! I'll be fine.
He seeks peace, my brother.
There is no peace with Troy.
He bears a letter from their king.
To whom is it addressed?
Do not shame me, brother.
Troy seeks to align with Sparta. Sparta alone.
They have sent him to drive a wedge between us. We can let nothing divide the blood of the House of Atreus, but not now. Not here. Let him remain, freely speaking until we know enough of Troy to find a way inside its golden walls.
The weight of a crown has made my little brother wise beyond my expectations.
Catch me, Theseus. Catch me, Pollux. You. I've seen you.
In the pool.
You saw too.
I've come for you.
It's too late.
The gods to create. Aphrodite herself.
And the gods torment me.
How can you say that?
When I'm there with them, I feel nothing. Naked in front of 100 kings, nothing. Then tonight, when I saw you, something began to tear away my shield to expose the one thing that I cannot endure. Hope.
Have it now. I love you.
Loving me kills people, destroys families, causes such grief you cannot imagine.
I've imagined you all these years. Now I've found you, I cannot let you go. I will never leave you. The day I do is the day I die.
Leave me. You must never see me again.
You consort with a Trojan, an enemy of Sparta. Do you want to be put to death?
Yes, I do. What's happened to you? I've become physical.
You're not making sense about anything. You meet some envoy, and before you...
No! I didn't just meet him. I've loved him for years, before you even married Agamemnon.
That can't be possible. It's not true, is it?
What's going to happen?
I heard Agamemnon and Menelaus talk of Troy.
And?
Tomorrow they will ask the envoy about his city. When Agamemnon has learned all he needs to know, we will return to Mycenae, and Menelaus
will kill him.
You did well tonight. The kings were pleased.
Until the envoy arrived.
Yes.
Why is he here?
That makes no matter.
Did he come bearing tribute?
is no tribute that compares with you.
You are a generous man.
No, I'm a lucky man.
You mean stealing's not a crime in Sparta?
Being caught is the crime, always. There was a boy, young, no more than 10. He stole a fox and hid it under his cloak. He died while being questioned, and when they removed his cloak, they found he'd let the fox gnaw through his body rather than reveal his theft.
Such boys make good soldiers.
Yes, they do. We train them from the age of 7.
Ours learn to tame horses from a young age.
You must visit our stables whilst you're here. They're not as grand as your own, I'm sure. I've heard people say that the walls of Troy are made of gold. Is this really true?
No. But they are beautiful.
Perhaps one day I will see the walls of Troy for myself.
I found you!
No man can possess all he desires.
Calcutta?
My lord.
My wife tells me that no man can claim the world. What say the gods?
Olympus favors the High King, who one day will rule the entire Aegean.
You may bear my children. Never again will you interfere with my affairs. Is that understood?
To make peace. We like making peace. Yes, a lot.
The Greeks have other ideas.
What sort of ideas?
Like, cut off our heads, put them on pikes, let birds eat our eyes. That sort of thing.
Prince Paris of Troy, my king bids you a fond good night. have my love.
Without you, I have nothing.
My lord! My lord! The tide begins to turn!
Menelaus is shamed, but he fears to harm me. Now go.
I beg you, please, go!
My lord! The wind is up!
Please.
Make way, men!
Well thought, Croesus. Your news precedes you.
As the gods my witness, I would kill that man. You can be sure of it.
You brought dishonor on yourself and shame to the house of Atreus.
I'll have the Trojan's head on a spike!
Not without my help.
Ah, yes. Well, as always, I must bear the weight of your shadow.
You're a smudge on history's ledger, Menelaus, but you are my brother. And what's more, the kings of the Aegean have sworn an oath.
To unite, as I recall. The oath did not place you in command of me, my army, or any other.
Do not incur my wrath, little brother. Do not. These are my terms. You may have the Trojan. And your whore. I will take Troy. You will share no spoils, not a scrap of broken clay, not an ingot of their basest metal. Agreed?
I am your brother.
Do you agree?
What makes you think the kings will unite behind you?
The gods have written it.
And you know for certain they favor you in this?
For certain. 2 months. The wind remains against us.
The men grow impatient.
I grow impatient, Achilles. Calchas!
My lord.
When will the winds blow with us? What say the gods? Speak, seer. What must I do?
A terrible thing.
Tell me. I command you.
The goddess Artemis asks for your daughter. In trade for fair wind, Artemis demands your daughter's life. Here, on this altar.
And this will satisfy the goddess.
But you must hold the knife. The gods demand it.
Of course they do. The winds will soon be with us.
Ready? Must we leave now that the ship's repaired?
The men have asked.
I understand, I know. They have wives, families.
You know, we could stay here. Just the two of us. I promise you I'll make a far better shepherd than I do a prince.
My lord! Many ships!
You have to warn Troy. You must go now.
We must go now.
You can't give Agamemnon the excuse for war.
Agamemnon wants Troy. He's always wanted Troy. That's why my father sent me to Sparta. And now, wherever this path may lead, we're on it together. This way.
Hector, the elders demand to see you. Alone.
Do not harm her.
I'll be all right.
It is you who brings harm to Troy.
Men, thank you. Go home.
You steal the king of Sparta's wife. And you bring her here with the entire Aegean fleet on your heels. And you expect us to turn a blind eye to your wanton frolics!
Father, please allow me to present my case.
You have presented us with a war that is case enough!
Agamemnon presents war, not I. You sent me to Sparta to confirm it. My king. Elders of Troy. The High King of Mycenae has fastened himself to Troy as gateway to the treasures of Byzantium.
The woman belongs to Sparta.
Where she's treated worse than a Hittite whore? Forced to walk naked among Aegean kings who leer and spit obscenities. I did not take her. I saved her from a people who find no worth in women, place no value on beauty, and seek their only honor through glorious death in battle.
Father, do not listen. The woman brings the end of Troy. She must be returned to Sparta.
Where is Helen?
She's being prepared.
For what?
Her husband.
Does Troy so fear the Aegeans it turns its face from mercy? Are the gilded walls of Ilium so weak they cannot defend kindness and compassion?
Are you all blind? The woman is a Spartan. She must leave here. She must go. She will kill us all.
Good king, your daughter speaks the truth. I have no right to be here. I wish to return to my husband.
Wife awaits you.
Menelaus, king of Sparta. Odysseus, king of Ithaca.
Troy welcomes you.
Great King Priam, we are honored to stand before you. We know you to be just and wise, and therefore will see reason to return to Sparta what belongs to Sparta.
For what purpose?
Purpose.
You ask us to return to Sparta that which belongs to Sparta. Is this your property, your chattel, or your evening's amusement?
Will you insult me? I demand you return my wife.
Bold king of Sparta, I ask the question again, for what purpose?
Because she is mine. Because she is my wife.
It is a simple question.
And I will make it painfully simple, if only for your benefit. You will return Helen to me. Or the combined armies of the Aegean will sack your city and raze it to the ground.
Good King Priam, if I may speak on the matter. A man loses his wife to another. Perhaps she's stolen, perhaps she goes of her own free will. It makes no difference. That man is so consumed with grief and passion, he becomes rash, even senseless at times. It would be the same for any man here. The farmer in the field, the merchant in the street, even a king. King Menelaus pleads with you to return his wife. For what purpose, you ask? For the only purpose that can account for such fervor. Love. Only that.
King Odysseus, you have spoken well and wisely. You shall have our answer before sunrise. Leave us.
I asked to be returned.
Is that what you want?
It is my duty.
I have two questions. Do you love my son?
With all my heart.
I send you back. Let's stop this war. Why not?
I know him.
Menelaus.
The other.
Bring me Achilles.
The main fleet lands here. Agamemnon and I here. We scale the cliffs to a plain that leads to the marketplace below the city. Up a staircase, through an arch in front of the city gates.
The moment we attack, the merchants will retreat to the city.
On the weakness of compassion, we'll keep the gates open. Menelaus, take the beach. We will pass through the market in disguise.
A short life full of glory. Isn't that what you wished? May the gods smile on our destiny.
I agree with the elders. You have no doubt that the High King of Mycenae comes to Troy for the purpose of making war. We are also aware of speculation that he has sacrificed his daughter Iphigenia for the purpose of securing a favorable wind. This is not the conduct of a man of peace. We also agree that to sacrifice your honor or even your life will not appease his desire or make peace more likely. For these reasons, we invite you to consider this city to be your home for as long as you shall live. Furthermore, should you choose to renounce any further affiliation with Sparta, you shall henceforth be known as Helen of Troy. Do you accept this offer?
I accept.
It appears they will keep her.
To Troy!
Aphrodite!
Care of your best men.
Back to shine!
Unfortunate.
Thank you, brother. Retreat from the archers! Quickly! Close the gate!
Well done, my boy.
Thank you, Father. I owe you my life.
We are blood.
What say you now, sister? Will Troy still burn?
Don't ask a question if you don't want an answer.
Well, Cassandra, is there an answer?
For 10 years, the Greeks will pillage our country, attack our gates. For 10 years, they will raid the southern shores, enslave our neighbors, fatten themselves on their butchered cattle, become rich with spoils, and our friends will flee here, and flee here, and flee here. Until these walls are packed with broken people, and our city is filled with sorrow, our streets flooded with tears, until there will not be one of us with food to eat, water to drink, or air to breathe!
Cassandra! Enough!
The war will not be over until the curse is lifted. You all know it. Why can you not understand? Why do you not believe?
Because, child, we must not believe you. We cannot believe you.
Paris must die.
Stop her, father!
I cannot stop. I will not stop until you listen!
Sandra, please. You don't know what you say.
I say the truth. Only the truth. But none of you have seen what I see.
She's mad. Enough! This family, this city speaks with one voice. There will be no dissent. Guard! Take it away. Put her in a dungeon.
A creature will come. A creature that eats men. He will eat you, Father. And you. And you. And you. He will eat all of you. You all will die.
And so 10 years passed beneath the walls of Troy. At home, our own cities crumbled into ruin. The men had lost all their dreams. They'd forgotten what their own wives looked like. But I could not forget. And Agamemnon would not forget, and so we stayed. And stayed.
Well, I'm glad that there is laughter in here. Really. There is none outside, in the camp. The men want to go home.
Menelaus is right. My wife has suitors breaking down the door. Her weaving ruse will only last so long.
And 10 years is too long.
We must finish this war. I'll go home.
So we shall?
So we shall what? Fight? Or retreat?
Both.
When the outcome of Troy is determined, I wish to know it.
You seem sad. What?
A message. Agamemnon proposes peace.
At what price?
This war has gone on too long. I propose we negotiate an end to it.
On what terms?
Paris fights Menelaus, single combat. Whoever wins claims Helen.
Helen belongs to Troy.
No matter who wins, we will leave.
If you speak for Menelaus, it's you I should fight.
My brother?
I challenge you, Paris. To the death. For my wife. And for my honor.
Your weapon?
Javelin.
I accept.
These belong to Atreus. It's he you avenged today. Can you envision a future where some feckless Trojan leaps up onto the tomb of the great Menelaus and proudly recounts this day? Can you see that day, my brother? Can you even imagine it?
avenge the house of Atreus!
Die, Trojan.
Die!
The gods must be on your side.
I could have told you that.
I know the substance.
How long have I got?
The Thracians use it to hunt monkeys. It's not lethal, just
Unfair.
I swear I did not know. Tell me something. Do you honestly believe that you deserve her more than I do?
Yes. Yes, I do.
We took an oath. I am ashamed the way I treated her.
Somehow, I feel you're not much like your brother.
Something you might have noticed in Sparta before you abused my hospitality.
Before you had me killed, you mean?
I might have let you go. Probably not. Is she well?
Yes.
Does she ever... Has she spoken of me?
Now I must ask you something. Agamemnon wants Troy, not Helen.
Yes.
Then why are we trying to kill each other?
His amusement.
Have you ever thought someday you should defy him?
Can you walk?
I think so.
You're alive!
Misunderstanding.
They will fight again tomorrow.
No! We will settle this today. I will take the place of my brother.
Hector!
I challenge you, High King Agamemnon. But this time, without poison.
You do not stand for me. I cannot allow you to fight for me.
I stand for Troy. I fight for my country!
Not my firstborn.
Hector, it is for me to end it with Agamemnon. It is my path to follow.
You are my mortal brother. And I am proud to share your journey.
Hector, my boy! Come back within these walls, I beg you.
I stand for High King Agamemnon. I've skewered nothing but rebel for the last 10 years. I'm sick of it! I thirst for royal blood.
Mighty Achilles! Helen is not your fight.
But do not fight for Helen.
Then for what?
Something a Trojan could never understand.
Achilles fights for his own hollow pride. He honors nothing but his own image in the glass. He hungers only for glory. If you do not feed him, he will starve.
Hector, my boy, pity your mother's misery. And mine. I beg you, do not hand over your glory and your own sweet life to such a brutal, war-loving dog.
You throw first.
Should draw lots.
No. Go ahead. Take it! I'm waiting. You should have hit me when you had the chance.
I don't fight that way!
I do! I feed your son to my dogs. Tomorrow, they will devour your Prince Paris. One blood!
Cassandra?
Leave me!
Paris believes Aphrodite protects him. Can you see?
You bring ruin to my house, kill my family, destroy my world, and you expect me to soothe your worries? How dare you! My brother is dead.
Yes.
Wasn't a question.
Then you must know why I'm here. I will do anything to save him, anything. Tell me what to do.
See me.
I do.
See me. See me. Achilles dies. The war begins again. Ajax dies. Odysseus is wounded, also Agamemnon. When the day's sun sets, only Menelaus will be left to lead.
Paris won't die.
Not today.
And if I give myself up?
If you surrender to Agamemnon, the Aegeans will leave.
In Paris,
He will live.
Quickly. Sire, the lady has left the palace.
Brave Trojans, please. I thank you with all my heart. But this is a weight I must bear alone.
High King of Mycenae, I come to end this war.
Just like that.
I will do your bidding.
My bidding.
A trade. The daughter of Zeus for the body of Hector.
And you think that's enough? Do you think my daughter's death was for nothing? Hmm? Is that what you think? Is that what you were saying? Can you even imagine the innocence in her eyes as she reached out for her own father? He held her in his arms, raised her up. Her little love. So full of trust. As if he somehow was capable of good. And then that startled look. Can you imagine?
No.
Then I will tell you. There is no trade. Not you. Not Troy. Not even my own life will balance the scales. Now, do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Your rage destroys worlds. But it is yourself you hate.
We end this now! Right here! To the death!
I stand for High King Agamemnon!
You've given me 100 lifetimes worth of happiness.
Paris!
You wouldn't believe the prophecy. He always saw the fire in Cassandra's dream as a burning love for you.
My king, the Greeks have sailed.
Can it be possible? Search their camp.
The Aegeans are not to be trusted, nor their gifts.
Archers! Burn it.
Noble king, this is a day of great sadness for you. Still, we must not be rash. This, whatever it is, might be an offering or a gift to honor the great horse tamers of Troy.
Hands that built this killed my sons.
How fair ni daw?
Pogione o para sacrificium. Mis awint. Grazzi Zeus. Jek joġbok għannibżon noħroġ minn awint istatajni nitolbok.
What does he say?
It seems they've left him here as some kind of sacrifice. Għalix qed tiġi sakrifikat?
Biex ikon narju ħajjar. Mis awix aktar. Għax ta' toħroġ minn aw veru.
Ira.
What about the creature they left behind? Why so big?
X'inhu dak l-annimal warajk?
Dak sagrifiċċju l-Atena.
An offering to their goddess Athena. Għalix daqshekk kbir?
Għax dak jagħti għal-belt tagħkom u bekk ma tkunux tistgħu ddaħlu.
It's big to shadow our city. They say we cannot get it inside our gates.
That's what they think, do they?
Hey! Fejn sejrin? Ujja, ħarġuni, nitlobkom!
Dig him out.
Cassandra, can you see what happens?
I see you. Following.
What am I following? Who? Where am I going?
Where you belong.
I belong with Paris. I gave myself up. It didn't save him.
You gave yourself up. But you didn't surrender, did you? Did you?
Do you see him? No. Not yet.
I hear them playing. I always tell that sweet laughter. Little Hector. You see them?
Yes, yes, yes. I see them.
Are they all right?
Yes. They're all right. When they grow up, they will make you so proud of them. So very, very proud. You gave me such beautiful children. Such beautiful children.
We are free, my friend.
Come, cousin.
Spare my queen.
Bring her.
My lord, this way.
As I said, no trade.
Helen. What has he done? Go. Go quickly.
Clytemnestra. I told you once, never interfere.
I come from Iphigenia.
She's not here.
I know.
War is waged by nations, but it is human beings that pay the price. For those of us that survived, we are left with a memory of shame and misery and bloodshed. In these dark times, the only thing we have left to hold on to is love, the one true gift of the gods. And it is through love that we hope and pray the gods will send us peace.
Brave Helen.
Wherever you are, take me with you.
I cannot.
Will we ever meet again?
I've prepared your place.
Do you think I would kill you, Helen?
I do not thank you for my life.
I understand.
I cannot love you.
What will you do?
I will follow.
I accept.
The Roman Empire, the last superpower of the ancient world. Founded on military might and ruled by emperors, it was controlled from one city, Rome. With a population of 1 million, Rome was confident, cosmopolitan, and futuristic. It contained wonders of architecture and engineering. There were aqueducts and roads, and the Pantheon, with the largest dome of its type ever built. The Forum was a public square with the world's first shopping center. But Rome was also decadent. The thermal baths of the Emperor Caracalla were a glamorous pleasure palace. The Circus Maximus was twice the size of the largest stadium today. And then there was the Colosseum, an arena of entertainment built as a cathedral of death. The 7 wonders of Rome pushed back the boundaries of what was possible. How were the Romans able to make such breakthroughs over 1,000 years in advance of the rest of the world? The emperors of ancient Rome lived in cruel and ruthless times. Powerful beyond belief, and with the stakes so high, danger was never far away. Some stayed alive by giving the people what they wanted. Others protected their reputations by building awe-inspiring wonders, far beyond anything ever seen before. No building could entertain more people than the Circus Maximus. It was the largest arena ever constructed. It held twice the number of spectators than today's biggest stadium. It offered the Romans the spectacle of speed, danger, and death.
Here they came to watch feats of skill and daring and excitement and adventure. There was really nothing else like it.
Half a kilometer long and 137 meters wide, the Circus Maximus was the arena for great spectacle, wild beasts, gladiators, and most famously, chariot racing. It could hold up to 350,000. Admission was free, paid for by the state. But for the Emperor Trajan who'd built it, it was well worth the expense. This was premium advertising space.
Trajan, like most emperors, wanted to build a lasting monument to his own glory, and the Circus Maximus was the obvious place. There he could meet the crowds, and he could meet them famously on the same level. Trajan fancied himself a man of the people.
The arena allowed Trajan to entertain 1/3 of Rome's population in one sitting. In the middle of the track, he built a centerpiece 300 meters long. It was called the Spina and represented the broken back of Rome's enemies. The centerpiece was an obelisk towering 25 meters high. It had once displayed the power of Ramesses II, the greatest pharaoh. Now it had a new master, Rome. Earlier attempts at building stadiums had all ended in disaster. The very first Circus Maximus was built 500 years earlier. Made of wood, the structure was prone to fire and had to be replaced many times. But by 100 AD, Trajan set about rebuilding it once and for all.
The Emperor Trajan refurbished it and replaced what had been a largely wooden structure with a magnificent building of marble and stone. Really the first permanent circus which the Romans had ever had.
The secret of Trajan's Circus Maximus was down to the newly discovered miracle building material, concrete. This magical mixture was to liberate architecture, and the Romans were the first to develop it.
Concrete certainly had its benefits from the Roman emperor's point of view, in that it made it possible to build at a much more rapid pace than had been the case before. But also, the Roman emperors were building complexes that were larger and larger to accommodate more and more people.
When the Circus Maximus was built, only the top section was constructed from wood. The first 3 floors, nearest to the shops and stores, were built from concrete and decorated with brick and marble. This fireproof structure allowed shops to be developed right along the length of the stadium, and despite the risk of fire from the many arcades, the building survived for 500 years. The Roman people had never experienced a stadium like it. Today, only the faint outline of its foundations remain, but once, the Circus Maximus was the busiest building on Earth.
When you arrived at the Circus Maximus, you would enter the structure through an arched gate and arrive in a system of corridors, looking almost underground, so that when you got out towards your seat, you would be blinded, and you would need a second to adjust your eyes to the spectacle in front of you.
Trajan's construction, over 30 meters high, contained 4 banks of tiered seating. It looped around the track to a length of nearly 1,400 meters. The writer Pliny described it as beautiful as a temple, a sight to be seen for its own sake, quite apart from the spectacles contained therein. The arena had to be strong enough to contain some chaotic spectacles. At one event, 63 leopards, 40 bears and elephants were released. To increase crowd safety, a ditch was dug, running 3 meters wide and 10 deep all around the edge. The Emperor Nero introduced a barrier covered in smooth ivory, which revolved when touched and allowed animals no grip to climb it. It meant the action could take place right in front of the spectators. The Circus Maximus was so large, it needed spectacles on a grand scale to match its size. And claiming 50 deaths a year, nothing gripped the Roman crowds more than chariot racing. At over half a kilometer in length, the Circus Maximus was the largest arena ever constructed. Built by the Emperor Trajan as a symbol of his power, it cemented his reputation. The arena hosted wild beasts, gladiators, and most famously of all, chariot racing.
The race begins when a handkerchief is dropped, signaling its start. The gates open, all 12 chariots emerge at once. They have to stay in straight lines for a few moments, and then at a certain point they're all allowed to go as they like. They then race hell for leather for 7 times around the circus, and finally across the finishing line, which is opposite the imperial box where the emperor sat.
Just like motor racing today, the course was being continually updated. The most dangerous parts of the track were the corners, where the teams cut the shortest course around the turning post. Chariots would collide, and charioteers would be trampled underfoot. 50 died every year. If they managed to survive, charioteers became glamorous superstars.
I suppose we might think of the charioteers as being somewhat like modern pop stars or movie stars or even racing drivers. They attracted a huge cult following and enjoyed all the glamour and all the money and all the prestige that came from that. We do know the name of one charioteer, Scorpus, and from him we get just a glimpse of the excitement and the glamour and sometimes the pathos that was associated with being a charioteer. He won 2,000 races, but he died in the Circus Maximus, only age 27.
Spectators placed bets on the different colored teams. The Circus Maximus made the Emperor Trajan popular, but he didn't stop there. He became one of Rome's greatest builders and went on to construct another wonder of architecture called Trajan's Forum.
The Forum is a cultural symbol of a Roman city. It's the central place of a Roman town where people come to meet, and it usually has a temple on one side and a basilica, a judgment hall on another side. So this is the central place, the Times Square, or the Piccadilly Circus of Rome.
There were already 5 forums in Rome, but none of them could compete with the scale of Trajan's.
Trajan's Forum was the largest of the imperial fora that was built in central Rome. It's the size of all of the other imperial fora put together.
Trajan built it to ensure his popularity, but also to make himself truly Roman.
Trajan was the first of the non-Italian emperors, so he was from Spain, quite a good soldier. He was the second of the so-called 5 good emperors, so he was chosen for his abilities rather than because of who his father was.
Trajan was a self-made man and an empire builder. Not surprisingly, he chose as his architect a man who also came from outside Italy, a Greek called Apollodorus. He'd helped Trajan on his military operations abroad.
We don't know as much about Apollodorus' career as we would like, and this is true for most Roman architects. He was Trajan's chief architect, was responsible for the construction of bridges during the campaign in Dacia, as well as Trajan's Forum.
The money from the Dacian campaigns allowed Apollodorus to pull out every stop to make his Emperor's Forum a showcase. The piazza alone was almost 200 meters long and surrounded by elaborate arcades and adorned with statues of Trajan. There was a marketplace, a library, as well as law courts. For the average Roman, to enter Trajan's Forum was to enter another world.
The poor Roman, escaping from his stuff-crowded, cramped living conditions, goes into this glorious mass of gleaming marble and sees the gilded bronze roofs above him of the palace. He's moved into a completely different world. It's like going onto a film set.
But Trajan's Forum would be far more than a public square. To seal the public's approval, Trajan now began developing the world's first shopping center. It became known as Trajan's Markets. He cleared away a hillside 40 meters high and built the complex in terraces adjoining his forum.
The layout of the markets is very interesting because in a certain way, it is a forerunner of our modern shopping malls. Laid out on different levels, and from one level you could look down on another level.
This was a futuristic design, an entire center of different spaces on different levels with raised walkways and streets containing 150 shops on 5 floors.
And here, for the moment, we're walking along a corridor on which open up some of the shops of this complex. As you can see, a shop had its entire facade opening up on a street or on a corridor.
The construction methods were new, fast and economical. The walls were only faced in brick. To save money, the bricks were cut in half, and the newfound mixture of concrete and rubble on the inside of the wall made it possible to build 5 stories high.
The markets of Trajan are a great example of the skill that the Romans have in using the brick, not only as a purely functional building material, but also as an aesthetical material. Thus the brick becomes in itself a part of the decoration of the building.
On the 5th floor was the corn dole, where free rations were handed out. Beneath, arcades of shops offered every commodity from across the empire. The finest silks, rare spices and precious gems, as well as everyday goods, were all for sale in a variety of covered markets. A place for Romans to mix and relax, to eat and drink, to browse and buy anything they wanted. There were bars and takeaway food stores. Trajan helped to make Rome the most sophisticated place on earth. The city had every technology available to man, and one of its greatest wonders was the aqueduct. Aqueducts were an engineering breakthrough. They brought the purest water directly to the homes of Rome's 1 million citizens. Graceful arches spanning the countryside and amazing tunnels below the ground brought a staggering 900 million liters of fresh water into the city every day. This incredible system became the life force of Rome and the engineering blueprint for every modern city ever since.
Rome was an extraordinarily hot city then, as it is now, and one of the things the emperors and those in charge of building were most concerned about was a ready supply of water. So there are fountains then as well as now on almost every corner, and this would have been true also for the courtyards of the elite houses.
Roman scientists, like Vitruvius, had made detailed studies of water. They tested it by boiling it away and studying the residue it left. They considered the effects of contamination from different soils and looked at the plants attracted to water: bulrushes, wild osiers, alders, withy, and reeds. Later, under the Emperor Trajan, an entire government department was set up, headed by a famous engineer called Frontinus.
Frontinus was Trajan's water engineer and an extraordinarily meticulous man. He wrote a book about his activities, which we still have, on the water supply of Rome, which gives us details that otherwise we wouldn't possess about the aqueducts and how they functioned.
It had long been established that the freshest water came not from the river Tiber, but from the foothills and natural springs outside Rome. Provided they flowed from high ground, the springs could be channeled through aqueducts down to the city below. As Roman engineers became more experienced, they were able to defy any obstacle. In time, they would construct a 416-kilometer-long network of tunnels and aqueducts. But before building could start, the degree of slope had to be determined. This angle would become the incline of the aqueduct across hills and valleys all the way to Rome. Before any water entered the aqueduct, it passed through several purification tanks. Here, flow rate was restricted to allow impurities to fall as sediment.
Along most of their route from the hills of Rome into the city, stretches of up to 7 miles, the aqueducts would have been in tunnels like this one, dug often straight through hillsides or under towns and villages. They were dug by hand and beautifully built, so much so that they're the only ancient Roman public service still in regular use today.
To tunnel, the engineers used the Roman mining technique of drilling a vertical shaft every 32 meters as the tunnel progressed through the hill. This meant they could check their alignment accurately by dropping down plumb lines. But when the aqueduct appeared on the other side, the land often sloped away towards the city, so to maintain the flow gradient, the channel had to be raised and supported by a wall of brick or stone. As the ground sloped away further, so the wall was built up. But when it exceeded 2 meters, it became too costly to build. The solution was an architectural innovation the Romans perfected: the arch.
This is an absolutely standard semicircular Roman arch, built with cut stones. It's about 18-foot span, and there may be 27 stones in the whole arch.
The Roman engineers used formwork, a wooden supporting frame, over which the arch was assembled. When the stones were in place, cement was applied and then rubble to build the structure up to the top.
Once the keystone is in, they can strike the wooden frame and let the arch take the weight and all that force coming down the stones finally through the piers to the ground. Then they can finish the aqueduct on top.
With arches, aqueducts could cross valleys. But arches could become unsteady, so Roman engineers had to explore every technique to make them stable. When an aqueduct crossed a river, greater stability was given to the base by specially shaping it to deflect the current. But when arches grew too tall, they could twist and become unstable. So the Roman solution was to limit their height to just 21 meters. Sometimes, to maintain the correct gradient, the aqueducts needed to be even higher, so a second tier of arches was placed above the first. One aqueduct was even built with 3 tiers, 55 meters high. For Roman aqueducts, cement would bring about a breakthrough when engineers discovered a waterproof cement to line the bottom of the channel. It was made from pozzolana, a volcanic ash, which when mixed with lime became a mortar which could even set hard underwater.
This is the channel in the aqueduct that brought the water down to ancient Rome. It's quite wide and it would have brought about 40 million gallons a day down into the city. Lined as it was with a lime and terracotta mix, it was waterproof along its length.
But Why go to all this architectural expense when a pipeline would have done the same job?
The Romans could have brought the water to Rome by pipeline running along the ground surface, but of course that would have had problems to do with the pressure in the pipe. So by putting the water up here on an aqueduct in a channel instead of in a pipe, they could supply it easily and quickly with a simple form of construction. It's covered, of course, to protect it from evaporating and from getting dirty with things blowing into it.
Aqueducts could easily cross plains, but very deep valleys and ravines were a problem. So the Roman engineers built a cistern each side. When they funneled the water down a pipe, its own weight would push it up the other side. The first gravity-driven siphon.
This would be a pipeline which went from the aqueduct down into the valley and up to another tank on the other side where the water could go back into the aqueduct.
When the water finally entered Rome, it filled 3 reservoirs. The first served the essential public supply, the second, the public baths, and the third went to private households who paid a water tax. The money levied from the private sector helped to pay for the public water system, which took priority. Controlling the public was the #1 concern of every emperor. Their lives depended on it. Trajan had given Rome the first permanent stadium, a forum, a shopping center, and regulated the water supply. 100 years later, Rome was under the control of the Emperor Caracalla, and he was to build the Roman people the most lavish public building ever conceived. It was in effect a public palace, the most luxurious and sophisticated health spa of all time, and everyone could go there. Why was the ruthless Caracalla so generous?
What they were concerned with is with their reputation, with their eternal reputation, with building some things that people would remember them for. The baths of Caracalla.
But behind the beauty of Caracalla's baths lay a harsh reality. Caracalla's full name was Emperor Marcus Aurelius Severus Antonius Pius Felix Augustus, remembered chillingly as Caracalla. Like Caligula and Nero before him, Caracalla was one of Rome's most terrifying rulers.
Caracalla is certainly known as one of the major tyrants of the Roman Empire. He allegedly murdered his brother in the presence of his mother, had his brother's name erased from all monuments in the city of Rome, as well as the image of his wife and father-in-law. And even outside Rome, he was renowned as a tyrant. In Alexandria, for instance, where there were people who criticized him, he allegedly initiated a bloodbath.
Caracalla was so hated, he decided to build for the people of Rome a wonder to reverse his failing image. But why build a bath complex?
One of the most evil emperors, Caracalla, a genuine psychopath if ever there was one, oddly enough, chose to build baths as his monument. Now, what does this mean to us? Well, one way of thinking about this would be an obsessional streak, wanting to wash and clean and cleanse and purify, a kind of way of expressing perhaps even some guilt about what he had done.
Rome already had nearly 1,000 public baths, but Caracalla's overshadowed them all. They covered over 9,000 square meters. The central space alone was larger than the Basilica of St. Peter's, and a branch line was built from the Aqua Marcia to supply them with their own water. Caracalla's cruelty never ceased. His builders were forced to work around the clock in all weathers. Started in 212 AD, his baths were completed in record time. Caracalla employed a workforce of up to 16,000 men. 100,000 scaffolding poles allowed 4,500 bricklayers and 1,800 decorators to get to work.
Caracalla wanted those baths finished as fast as possible, and so he applied enormous pressure to his architects and his engineers. Consequently, it was finished in only 4 years.
The baths catered for every need. But below the surface, the cost of such luxury did not come cheap. The psychotic Roman Emperor Caracalla was in need of some good press and bestowed upon the people of Rome a sophisticated health spa on a massive scale. Bathers could swim in Olympic-sized swimming pools, rest in enormous sauna rooms, laze in a warm bath 60 meters long, and cool in a plunge pool. There was a gymnasium and exercise rooms, as well as libraries, meeting rooms, and gardens.
As one entered the Baths of Caracalla, one would have been struck by light, and the light glittering off the surfaces of the imported marbles or the mosaics that lined the walls and other parts of the building. Underneath, however, it would have been a world of darkness in the service corridors, heating the water for the baths.
A vast cistern supplied the baths with over 9 million litres of water. It was piped beneath the main building, where it either fed the cold pools or the boilers. An underground network of terracotta pipes distributed hot and cold water while removing all wastewater. There were also enormous corridors storing 2,000 tons of wood. There were 50 fireplaces for the heating of the different rooms above. This efficient system of underfloor heating was known as hypercaust. Terracotta tubes ran inside the walls to provide insulation and channel hot air.
The underworld is sweaty, hot, fearsomely hot, oppressed, cruel, and above, they're the leisured class, enjoying their luxury and cleanliness.
There could be as many as 2,000 people in the baths.
You could spend the whole day at the baths. There was plenty to do there. It would take you quite a long time to get through all the different rooms. There was a sort of Turkish bath kind of room. There was a cold room. There was a warm room. There was a swimming pool. You could get a massage. You could get your hair done. You could get your pedicure and your manicure. But you also could have some very important chats. You were very interested in who you might bump into. And there was certainly food and drink available.
The main pool, the Calidarium, was the hottest room. It was domed to allow in the sun's heat and light. The baths were more popular and longer lasting than their creator, Caracalla. On the 8th of April, in the year 217 AD, scarcely a year after the baths' completion, Caracalla was murdered, assassinated by his own bodyguard. The Roman people enjoyed the baths for centuries, but were quick to forget Caracalla, one of the most flawed emperors of all time. Despite poor rulers, turmoil and revolution, Rome would become the nerve center of a vast empire, and all this was made possible by the wonder of Roman roads.
The Romans realized that the maintenance of the empire was directly dependent upon the construction of a successful road system for the easy transport of troops and commodities. And so they used the roads in a way to create a kind of global village.
The first Roman road was the Appian Way, begun in 312 BC by the consul Claudius. Within 200 years, a 288,000-kilometer network would spread out from the city to reach the furthest extremities of the empire. Along them marched great armies. Soon the whole of Europe to the west, Judea to the east, and Egypt to the south fell under Rome's control. At their height, Roman roads were expanding at a rate of half a kilometer every day, and they still survive. What was the secret of their construction? The answer lay in surveying. For this, Roman engineers invented a device called a groma.
The principles of Roman surveying are the same principles that we use today, setting things out on right angles, using level to work out elevation and so on. You'd first of all sight down one axis of it, like this, and then you'd move around and lay out the other line at right angles. And that was pretty effective over short distances. For long distances, the Romans had to use the highest hills they could see in the distance, and they set out poles between where they were now, where they wanted to go, and aligned them in a very, very long line, as straight as they could. They couldn't survey round corners. That's why all Roman roads are straight.
If the obstacle was impassable, the road would take a dogleg around it. But often the roads were cut straight through entire hillsides. The Emperor Trajan engineered a cutting 40 meters deep to extend the Appian Way along the coast. The idea of building a straight road from scratch was a new one. Up until now, roads had evolved from ancient tracks. They sidestepped rivers and avoided hills. But to the Roman mind, this was inefficient.
The Roman roads were built very carefully because they were the core of the Roman communication system. Making roads was a serious business because the roads served many purposes. Transportation of troops, of goods, and they were built by slaves, by soldiers, and lower-class citizens who would work in private construction companies.
One of the astounding features of Roman roads is how durable they proved to be. They were all built to the same formula. A broad trench was dug and filled with sand and boulders to form a solid foundation. Next went a layer of gravel and coarse stone. This was mixed with clay or mortar before being compacted. Finally, a layer of cambered paving stones, sometimes of basalt, formed the top surface, allowing any water to drain off to the sides. Every 1,000 paces, a Roman mile, was marked by a cylindrical milestone, engraved with details of the current emperor and the distance to the next town. While roads held the empire together, it was architecture that displayed Roman mastery of the world. The most visionary Roman building remains the Pantheon. It's a temple dedicated to all the gods and was built by the Emperor Hadrian in 125 AD. Like a time capsule, the Pantheon remains the best preserved Roman building, marking one of the greatest achievements in world architecture. Its central feature, an oculus, a circular hole 10 meters wide, open to the heavens. Its dome, 43 meters across, meant its designers were taking a risk. It was the largest ever made without reinforced concrete.
We wish we knew more about the purpose of the Pantheon than we do. It's simply Greek for temple to all of the gods. We know that Hadrian held court there. Presumably the statues of all of the Olympian gods were set up there. But as to its exact function, we're still largely in the dark.
The Pantheon was an obsession for the Emperor Hadrian. He was fascinated by architecture. Hadrian could draw his own architectural plans and blueprints. He had his own villa built as an Egyptian temple.
All of the emperors were passionate about building, but the difference between them and Hadrian is that Hadrian was a kind of amateur architect in his own right, and allegedly responsible for some of the designs in his villa at Tivoli.
It's not known which architect designed the Pantheon. Some believe it was Apollodorus, but there are no surviving records. The facade of the Pantheon was designed to express Roman mastery of the world. The Greek portico was supported by 16 of the finest columns. Made from Egyptian granite, they were quarried thousands of kilometers away in Aswan, Upper Egypt, and brought all the way to Rome. The crossbeams running above them were once sheathed in bronze. From here, two gigantic bronze doors, 7 meters high, open onto a vast circular area, half the size of a football pitch.
The interior of the Pantheon is a fantastic space, thanks to its enormous dome, twice as big as any dome that had ever been built before, 44 meters of span. Inside, the only thing you can think of is space. The Pantheon is one of the most famous buildings of the world and one of the best preserved, and yet still enigmatic. We don't know what its original name was. We don't know what it was exactly used for.
The Pantheon was a fusion of both classical and modern styles. It had no architectural precedent. The whole space inside was unsupported, unique in temple design. The Pantheon's dome was an engineering masterpiece.
Other domes had been constructed in Roman architecture before the Pantheon, in bath buildings in particular, but the Pantheon covered a span greater than that of any other ancient structure, and it wouldn't be superseded until the Renaissance.
Building the dome of the Pantheon was the biggest engineering challenge that the Romans ever set themselves. It had twice the span of any dome that they built previously. The key problem with building any dome is how to stop it collapsing under its own weight. All the time, it's trying to push out at the bottom and to fall through the middle. The Romans solved this in two ways. Firstly, they made it very, very thick. And then to stop the dome spreading outwards at the bottom, they built it inside massive buttress-like walls and with a ring of collars around the base of the dome itself. This was a brilliant solution.
The architect had planned for the weight of the giant semisphere to be supported by just 8 piers. These needed to be strong and were built 6 meters thick, but to help reduce their overall weight, they had hollow inspection shafts running up inside them. The dome itself is a highly advanced piece of engineering. Its construction had been worked out to reduce its weight and pressure. It contains many sophisticated features, and its builders used 5 different types of cement.
The secret of Roman concrete was something called pozzolana, the local volcanic sand, which made it almost as hard as stone. And the significance for Roman architecture is that architects could now consider the function of a building and then mold the form of the building to suit the function, rather than what had been the case previously, which is that the function had to be really squeezed into a square box.
The shape of the dome was exquisitely proportioned, being exactly half the dimension of the whole building. Climbing from the ground to the first cornice, the builders used heavy concrete and tufa, or limestone blocks. The next level was built from lighter tufa bricks. The first ring of the dome was made of concrete, but as it grew upwards, the concrete became thinner and was lightened with tufa. At the top, it was lightened further with pumice. Had the architect not reduced weight in this way, the stresses would have been increased by as much as 80%. The architect hid inside the walls a complicated series of arches. These were designed to reduce weight and to direct the pressure down onto the supporting piers. The architect further reduced the weight of the dome by cutting out large square panels called coffers. These gave added rhythm and decoration, as well as lightening the overall load.
The coffers of the dome were gilded, and so it would have resembled a kind of golden canopy above your head.
History doesn't record who was responsible for the Pantheon's revolutionary design. Whether Apollodorus or the emperor himself remains unknown.
The historian Cassius Dio tells a story about Apollodorus and Hadrian, wherein Hadrian showed some of his architectural designs to Apollodorus, who criticized them severely. And according to Dio, ultimately, Hadrian had Apollodorus executed.
If the story is true, Apollodorus never saw the Pantheon in its true glory. But millions have since its completion, and the Pantheon continues to astound the world today. The last of Rome's 7 wonders is the most infamous building on Earth, the Colosseum. Behind its beautiful walls were once terrifying scenes of combat, blood, and death. The building was the largest and most notorious of all Roman amphitheaters. Standing taller than 16 stories, the Colosseum could hold a crowd of over 80,000. It was an arena of entertainment and a cathedral of death. Plans to build the Colosseum began after the death of the Emperor Nero. His rule of terror had left public morale so low that Vespasian, who followed him, had to build something exceptional to win back public support.
Vespasian was something of an anomaly amongst the Roman emperors. He was hardworking, sober, a plain dealer, honest, frugal. The Romans liked him.
In AD 70, Vespasian's engineers drained Nero's private lake and laid the foundations for Rome's largest amphitheater. The oval design encompassed a central arena. High-banked terraces were designed to give every spectator a clear view of the ring. Inside, there was a labyrinth of vaulted tunnels. There were 76 entrances, allowing crowds of spectators to swarm along the passages to the seats above. Inside, the whole structure rested upon load-bearing piers, braced with arches and vaults.
Vaulting gives us this domed roof, like the one above me, made out of a Roman concrete placed on a wooden frame or formwork, and arches like this one, made out of cut stone blocks. Together, the arches and the vaults give us a wide, open public space for people to mingle and circulate. And the arches give the Colosseum its distinctive architectural appearance all around the outside.
Moving up the facade, the first 3 floors were arched. The 4th and 5th were solid walls of concrete, faced with brick. Modern building techniques enabled the 50-meter-high facade to be constructed quickly. 300 tons of iron cramps helped to bond all the masonry together. Standard sizes of brick and easily mixable concrete allowed production line efficiency on site. Vespasian had no time to lose. He was in a hurry to win back the people before his years overtook him. The Colosseum was the answer, and as emperor, he would have the best seat. Beside him would sit senators, on the tier above, noblemen, above, soldiers and citizens, above them, slaves. The worst seats of all, on the very top story, were for women.
What this meant was that the place was a microcosm of Roman society. And when you looked out at it, graphically, you saw in effect the whole Roman world displayed before you.
An awning protected the spectators from the sun. 1,000 sailors were stationed in Rome to erect its sails.
One of the astonishing things is that this great, massive edifice, probably the greatest building project, certainly the most complex one of antiquity, was put together in a period of perhaps 5 years.
Yet despite the speed of its construction, Vespasian would never live to see the Colosseum's completion. He died before his great gift was realized. It would be his son, Titus, who would officially open the most terrifying arena on Earth. The last of Rome's 7 wonders is the most infamous building on Earth, the Colosseum. Holding a crowd of over 80,000, it was originally conceived by the Emperor Vespasian and was completed by his son, Titus. For 100 days, Titus treated the people of Rome to the killing of wild beasts, the executions of men, women and children, as well as gladiatorial contests. This industrial-scale slaughter was all made possible by engineering. Hidden beneath the arena, a labyrinth of tunnels allowed stage sets and dead bodies to be moved in and out. There were 32 animal pens, holding caged lions, tigers, elephants, and crocodiles. As many as 5,000 a day were slaughtered. Some species were reduced to the point of extinction.
There's a story about one emperor, Claudius, who actually threw some of his scenic designers and stage technicians to the lions because the machinery had broken down and the show didn't go on well.
Executions provided popular midday entertainment. Christians, Jews, criminals and slaves were tortured to death in the most novel ways to provide the greatest spectacle.
It's certain that they had a different level of tolerance for watching humans and animals suffer terrible pain without feeling they needed to get up and stop it. We know, for example, that they would actually make women have sex with bulls or with donkeys before they finally died.
The highlights of any day were the gladiators. Many were enslaved prisoners of war from conquered tribes, the Samnites, the Thracians, and the Gauls. After the opening of the Colosseum, new gladiator schools opened beside it. Soon there were 2,000 trained gladiators ready to fight for their lives.
One of the Romans' favourite ways of varying the diet of gladiatorial combat was to make the gladiators take on identities of mythical characters in a big fight. So you could have Achilles fighting Hector, or you could have Hercules fighting one of his great enemies. And they would fight to the death, but in a form of disguise and impersonation that's actually got more to do with theatre.
If they lived long enough to see out their contracts, they could become free men. The Colosseum made some gladiators into heroes and superstars. Some would be given a second chance. Others would die within its walls, their bodies dragged away at the end of a contest. 42 emperors would benefit from Vespasian's vision. The Colosseum was a building designed to keep the people happy. It succeeded, but the price was high. 700,000 souls would die within its walls. The Colosseum remains today as a masterpiece of design, shrouding the darkest memories of the most ruthless civilization. The seven wonders of Rome were all outstanding creations, pushing architecture and engineering to a level unsurpassed for well over 1,000 years. The audacity of their construction still challenges architects to better them, to develop new materials, to solve new problems, to do as the Romans did, and build into the future.